Alright guys, Pundit claims this move would push XRP over $100,000. Top analyst says no way. Right? Social media has been buzzing with a viral claim that a global gold revaluation will inevitably shoot XRP past $100,000 per token. But before you start spending that imaginary fortune, a top market analyst just step in with a cold, hard reality check. Is this $100,000 target a legitimate financial shift, or is it one of the most dangerous traps in the crypto space today? So let's examine the facts, run the numbers, and see what is really happening behind the scenes. So, what triggered this sudden debate over a $100,000 XRP price tag? The spark that set off this massive online debate came directly from a viral post on X by a crypto commentator named Pompous right here. The claim suggests that a potential revaluation of global gold reserves paired with a rapid devaluation of the US dollar would catapult XRP straight past $100,000. So, in my opinion, I see this narrative pop up every time retail sentiment needs a quick boost. The idea of global monetary resets sounds incredible on paper because it appeals to our desire for a massive, life-changing wealth overnight. However, jumping on these grand theories without looking at economic mechanics usually leads to costly mistakes. The post circulated rapidly, pulling in thousands of likes, retweets, and optimistic comments from investors hoping for a historic payday. But as the hype machine began running at full speed, prominent industry voices realized that someone needed to step in and reset expectations before expectations got completely out of hand. Now, how did analyst chart nerd respond to the $100,000 claims? Chart Nerd, a widely respected technical analyst on X, took a direct stand against the viral post. Posting to his followers, Chart Nerd issued a stern warning, which is save yourself the disappointment and rid yourself of this type of mindless influencer garbage. He cautioned that investors who anchor their strategies to these extreme predictions are setting themselves up to be dragged through the floor for years on false promises. Now, in my opinion, I respect Chart Nerd for taking a firm stance here. In a market often dominated by clickbait and runaway hype, having established voices call out unrealistic targets is vital for investor protection. It takes courage to tell a passionate community something they might not want to hear. So what makes Chart Nerd's response so notable is that he did not waste time debating the theoretical merits of a gold revaluation. Instead, he dismissed the $100,000 claim entirely, urging market participants to use critical judgment rather than blindly trusting social media commentators. Now, does the mathematical market cap of $100,000 XRP even make sense? To understand why analysts are dismissing this call, we have to look directly at the raw numbers. XRP is currently trading at $1.08. For XRP to jump from its current valuation to $100,000, it would require an astronomical gain of over 9 million %. So in my opinion, I want to say numbers do not lie, even when social media narratives try to stretch them. When you evaluate an asset, you cannot simply look at price per token. You must calculate what that price implies for the entire economic system. So let's break down the math. XRP has a circulating supply of roughly 57 billion tokens. At a price of $100,000 per token, XRP's total market capitalization would reach an unimaginable 5.7 quadrillion dollars. So to put that into perspective, the entire global GDP sets at approximately $110 trillion. That means a single digital token would be valued at more than 50 times the output of every country, business, and worker on planet Earth combined. No asset in human history has ever come remotely close to that level of valuation. Now, what is ChartNerd's track record when it comes to outlandish targets? This is not the first time ChartNerd has stepped up to challenge extreme price calls. While he has maintained a long-term bullish outlook on XRP, even pointing toward $27 as a target, there, $27 an inevitable target. He consistently draws a firm line between structural, technical targets and wild speculation. He previously called out pompous, overinflated numbers, prioritizing technical market structure over baseless moonshot claims. Now here's my opinion. This track record highlights an important distinction in the financial world. So, as an observer, incredible bullish on an asset's utility and growth while still rejecting math-defined targets, ChartNerd proves that being a supporter of a project does not mean you have to buy into every extreme fury. So by keeping his focus anchored to chart structure, supply dynamics, and realistic adoption metrics, ChartNerd has managed to separate his analysis from influencers who promote eye-watering targets without credible backing. Now, why do these moonshot price calls keep spreading across social media? The $100,000 claim is part of a broader pattern of extreme price calls that have surfaced over the past few years. We have seen figures like Jake Claver, chairman of Digital Ascension Group, previously predicting XRP would hit $100 before the end of 2025, a target that passed without coming close. Other analysts, including Zach Rector, publicly called those predictions misleading. So, in my opinion, these outlandish targets keep circulating because hype sells. In the age of social media, in this age of social media, bold claims generate massive engagement, but they also build a cycle of frustration for every investors who expect instant millions instead of focusing on steady market growth. Reports from media outlets like our source right here, Times Tabloid, have documented a long list of invalidated predictions, ranging from $100 calls to $750, $250, and even Time Traveler claims $73,000. While commentators like Claver maintain they remain extremely bullish on the underlying technology, public reaction within the community has shifted toward growing skepticism. And finally, here is our overall conclusion. The debate The debate over $100,000 XRP highlights a critical dividing line in the digital asset space, the clash between speculative fantasy and economic reality. While global macro shifts and institutional adoption continue to paint an exciting future for cross-border ledger settlement, targets that equate a single token network to 50 times the entire global economy simply do not align with basic financial principles. So, as an investor navigating these cycles, listening to analysts who prioritize technical structure and realistic market caps over viral clickbaits becomes essential. Grounding expectations in real-world adoption metrics protects capital and fosters a far healthier, more sustainable outlook for the future of digital finance. Alright, this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one. Or you might just as well check out this next recommended video right here.